Jai Hind everyone, welcome again to the Patriotic IAS. Let's start our IAS PCSwala Daily Current Affairs. Today it is the 6th of April 2024 and we have 6 topics that we are going to discuss one by one. So these are the topics that include from the GS paper mains, from the UPSC as well as prelims, and it can be beneficial for the different state pieces as well. So it will be the holistic approach, and for one of the question we are going to write a detailed means answer as well. So here the discussion of all the important topic will be taken. After that there will be the discussion on the men's practice question, and we will also discuss some of the mock and practice prelims question. So this is a complete package. So please, if you have any suggestion, you can give into the comment box. We can improve on that. But further, we have made a complete package after the analysis that what is the relevant and what is the most effective preparation strategy and the content and resources that should be for the those who are aspiring for the UPSC and state pieces. Beside that, this syllabus, this topic that we are going to discuss, if you will be regular on a daily basis, certainly you will have the benefit, you will have the command, and you will have the coverage of the 50% of the UPSC syllabus at the every stage. Only left with the static part, and many of the static part we covered from the basics perspective. So please be regular. This 1 hour 30 minutes, that is going to impact for the your 50% of the syllabus and preparations. So let's start with the first topic that we will discuss. This is very sensational news that Supreme Court stays the High Court order of the striking down the regulating UP Madrasa Act. So this is the act, this is the order, and this is going to impact the whole scenario. The debate is there that what type of education you impart to your children, and if you are going to strike down, is it going to benefit it? So there is the basic concept of secularism in GS paper 1 as well as GS paper 2. So this address this static part, so it will be for the prelims. We will know the concept of the secularism, and it will be also for the mains, as we know that what should be the education policy and how the only religious education for only one religion going to impact over all secular credential of the society. So mains as well as for the prelims this concept. Then we will study that again from the front page. It is given that the RBI keeps the repo rate on the hold, and this is the continuously for the very long it has been on the hold. So we will know that what is meant by the repo rate. So this will be for the prelims. Then we will study that India abstains from the UNHRC vote. So for the prelims, we will know the basics about the UNHRC, and for the mains perspective, we will know that India's stand with respect to India, Israel, and Palestine relation, or the India's relationship with the West Asian countries. So both for the prelims and for the mains, it addresses. Then we will study that the parliaments passed a mirror to the changing dynamics. So here, this is a very comprehensive analysis that how the parliament is going to function, how it has been functioning in the last 3 Lok Sabha duration. For example, it is analyzing the Lok Sabha duration of the 15th Lok Sabha, 16th Lok Sabha, and the 17th Lok Sabha. This year, from the 19th April to the 1st of the June, we are going to face the election for the 18th Lok Sabha. So 17th has been completed. We are making transition to the 18th Lok Sabha. So we will see that how we are holding our politician, our representative accountable and responsible to the overall, particularly to the Lok Sabha or the parliament, and generally to the whole nation, whole population of India. So detailed study will be here for the mains perspective, and we will write a practice answer for the mains. Beside that, we will provide the model answer for the same. We have also a small concepts such as the 0 hours, question hours. We will know the basic concept for the prelims. So it will help into the prelims as well. In the last, we will study that there will be no independent sovereign Palestine. So here, in the case of the stronger Hamas, and also due to there is the attack on the Iranian embassy into the Syria, so new dynamics we are seeing, and what is the chances of the Palestinian state if the Hamas is going to dominate. So this will be the further point, like already we have studied this topic in a very detailed manner. So we will further see that what are the chances of the Palestinian state. This is all about from the today's newspaper. So let's start with the front page. The front page, the first page talking about the Congress promise to remove 50% quota cap. So here you should know that 50% quota cap, Congress in its manifesto that is known as the Nyaya Patra that has been released yesterday. So it is talking about the 50% quota. This was brought by the Indira Sahani case. So please remember which case brought the 50% quota. So the overall quota, the reservations should not go beyond the 50% as per the Indira Sahani case. Indira Sahani case. This is also known as the Mandal Commission case 1993. Okay, so please remember this. This case brought the 50% quota. However, we have recently saw that the constitutional amendment added the 10% quota for the economic weaker section, and that's why the quota, overall quota, has been reached to the 60%. So here the Congress is talking about the for the SC, ST and OBC, even this quota rule should go beyond the 50% as per their population. Also, the Congress has talking about the it will bring the caste census so that it can know the clarity about what is the composition of the different caste into the society. It also talking to the legalize the minimum support price. Recently we saw that there is the lot of debate. There was the protest from the farmers. They are asking for the minimum support price. In the previous of our session we have studied what is the minimum support price. This is the overall input cost of the farmers that they go and they cultivate their crops. After that 50% is added, and the rate is fixed that if after the harvesting farmer reach to the government pay buy the crop on the this price. This minimum support price is the price at which the government will buy the crops from the farmers, and it is calculated by including the inputs plus 50% benefit and others such as the family labor force, all we have studied. So this is the thing they are asking, that they will legalize it. Still now it is just the scheme of the government, but if there will be the law, they can reach to the court for the implementation. As there is the no such law, so it is on the wish of the government whether they want to implement or not implement. They desire, if they desire, they can implement. For example, in the eastern UP or the Bihar, the system of the mandi system is not that much strong, APMC mandis. But in the Punjab, Haryana and western UP, this is very strong. So if it is legalizing, that will be a responsibility of the government will to bring such system into the each of the region. Beside that, it is also talking about that it will fill up all the seats or government seats that is vacant, and near about 30 lakh of the seat of the government posts are the vacant. So this is talking about the 30 lakh of the vacant seat will be filled. This is also talking about the universal health care, and they will also give the cash transfer of the 1 lakh rupees to the each of the poor family who are at the bottom level. So these are the promises. However, the Congress Nyaya Patra is silent on the bringing back the old pension scheme that has been the main point of the Congress campaign into the previous state legislative assembly. Okay, so this is all about even this this NAPAT is talking about the 50% of the reservation of women into the union government, and 1/3 reservation that has been brought by the constitutional amendment that will be implemented from the next year assembly election itself. Because till now, the government, BJP government is not talking about the when that will be implemented. They are talking about the after the caste after the census. and it could be after the 2029, but Congress is talking that we will try to implement very soon. Okay, so this is all about from here. You should know that what is the full form of the India bloc. It is the Indian National Developmental Inclusive Alliance that form as the India bloc. Okay, so this is all about from this news. The second news is about the Supreme Court stay High Court order striking down the regulating the UP Madrasa. Why it was striking down? Why it was struck down by the UP High Court? UP High Court said that it is against the constitution and it is against the basic structure because it is violating the basic principle of secularism, and secularism is the basic structure of the constitution. When it was declared the basic structure in 1993, this under the Bomai case, I think, it was declared that the secularism is the basic structure of a constitution. It is 1994, I think. Bomai case was into the 1994, and in 1994, Supreme Court declared that the secularism is the basic feature, basic structure of the constitution. What is the secularism? There is the two concepts of the secularism. Indian concept and the Western concept. What is the Western concept? Western concept talk about that there should be the separation of wall between the religion and state. This is the religion and this is the state. State like the state in the form of the, maybe it could be in the form of the government system. For government is a part of the state. Okay, it is the government which is the visible part of the government. For the state, state include the state government, territory, population, and sovereignty. Fourth thing is the basic concept. This is the fourth thing that included in it. The first is the government. Second is the population, territory, and sovereignty. You will study into the when we will study this into the detail what is the definition of the state. So this government is the visible part of the state. So this secularism principles talk about there will be the wall between the religion and the state. Neither the state can interfere into the religion, neither religion can interfere into the state. This is not allowed. Okay. So state will be independent of any of the interference from the religion, and religion will be independent from any of the interference from the state. Religion and state, they will be separately. Previously it was talking about that the religion and state was intermixed. Means if the government is giving, means promoting some of the religion, or the state has its own religion, maybe. Okay, for example, Pakistan has the state religion, so they don't follow the secular religion. They violate the secularism. In the secularism, it is considered that the government has the job to do the thing that is the developmental for the people, like that they can work into the health, they can work into the education, they will construct the road, and they will not think that to which community living in that. They only think about the citizen. But if the state has the religion, they will start supporting the one religion, they will start making the temple, mosque, or the church as per their affiliation. So it's considered that it bias against those who have the other religion than the state, and that's why it was considered that whatever the religion of the people will be there, the state will not consider either support or the oppose any religion. This is the Western concept. There is the separation of the wall. Indian concept talk about the Indian concept talk about the equidistance from the religion. So this will be the state standing here, and it will treat each of the religion with the same on the same ground. Okay, so if it is the Hinduism or the Islam or the Christianity or the Sikhism or the Parsis or any of the religion, if the state is going to help them, it will help help all the religion. It will not discriminate anyone from the religion. And this religion, this can interfere in their affairs. The state can reform this religion, but the religion will not interfere into the state affairs. It can interfere, that is permitted. But this is not permitted. So please be very careful. Here, both way interference was blocked. Here, the state can interfere into the religion. They can reform if there is some of the religious thing that is not healthy for people. If there is for example, there is the untouchability into any of the religion. State can go and say that this should not be the part of religion. Means it is interfering into the religion itself. However, here the state can make the temples as well. But if it is going to make the temples, it will also make the mosque, it will also make the gurudwara, it will also make the church, everything of every religion. It will treat each of the religion on equal basis. So be very careful. This is the concept of the secularism. And here the religion will not interfere into the state. No religion will go and say to make to the law as per our convenience. It is not that any of the religious people and this organization or the body will reach to the state and say that dictate rule as per our law, okay, our scripture. Will be not possible. Here, the thing was that the High Court strike down said that this law is not beneficial for the people into this madrasas. They are not providing the education of the math, science, and the social studies. So this is providing the just education of the one religion, and that's why this is not beneficial. This is not going to provide a holistic education, and that's why the people, those students who are going to get education from these madrasa, they will not be at that footing or that level. They will not able to compete with the other students who are qualifying from the other institutions where the math, science, social studies all is treated in an equal manner. Here the stand of the Uttar Pradesh government was that initially we tried to oppose the High Court order, but gradually we find that yes, there is the justification and fairness in the High Court order, and that's why we accepted it. That as per the government, they think that yes, by this, if they are not teaching the math and other form of the topic, so this is not good for the student. So in that argument, the Supreme Court said that it doesn't mean that if they are not teaching the math or the science or the social studies, you will strike down the law. What you can do, you can reform, you can tell, you can issue. Even the High Court could have issued the notification that those madrasa need to teach these other subjects so that they can bring the quality par with the other institutions. So this is all about from this stand. So now this order of the High Court had been stayed. There will be no implementation. The act will be there, and further there will be the hearing on this issue into the next weeks into the Supreme Court. Final judgment is still pending. So we will see that what is the final judgment that is going to delivered. Next important news that we are going to take is from the India's voting pattern into the UNHRC, Human Rights Commission. So here we will see that Human Rights Council. Okay. So here we will see that India has abstained from this voting where it was asking for the immediate ceasefire into the Gaza. So this has been consistently India is voting on such line, and this is there is no exception on it. Okay. So we will see that continuously India is abstaining if the issue is where directly it is asking the Israel to cease fire, and yes, without criticizing the Hamas as well. We have seen the previous ground of India not voting into the favor. So we should know the basics about this human right, United Nations Human Rights Council. Okay. So it is the principal body on the human right, and it was constituted into the 2006. Previously, it was on the name of the United Human Commission on the Human Rights. United Nations Commission on the Human Rights. Okay, so this was constituted in 2006. The main key function again to address the human right issue, universal periodic review, that whether what is the situation in the different countries. We see that wherever there is the war or there is the war violation, Human Rights Commission goes and give the view, and whenever there is the negative view, that countries start opposing the Human Rights Commission. Okay, so Human Rights Council, not the Commission. Commission on Human Rights, its previous name. How it's function? It has the 47 members state elected by the United Nations General Assembly. So please remember, this is important. So here it is given that how India has voted. Already there was the introduction of this resolution. This is done by the Pakistan, the first region that we abstained even many times. Look, it is the Pakistan that introduced, but it was on the behalf of the Organization for the Islamic Cooperation. Okay. So again, the justification is that it is not criticizing the Hamas. If there is the death of the 1200 of the Israeli people, that is also the killing. If you are comparing the 32,000, it does not mean that this 1200 death into the Israel, that does not matter. That also matter. Okay. What has been the pattern? 28 members, they have voted into the favor. Those who have voted against US, Germany and 4 other countries that voted against it, and India with Japan that has abstained from this voting. India, France and Japan. India's 2 friends. So, okay. Previous pattern, India has favored this resolution, such as the right of the Palestinian people for the self-determination. Recently, even India favored when there was the resolution for the ceasefire into the Ramjan month. Okay, so we saw that it was not permanent, but yes, it was the temporary, and no party, either Israel or the Hamas, they followed it. There was a continuously attack. Human right in occupied Syrian Golan, we also we voted into the favor of this resolution. Israeli settlement into the occupied Palestinian territory, including the East Jerusalem and the occupied Syrian Golan. Again, we have voted on all these areas. So please remember this thing. So this is from this news article that is here. So you should know about what is the basic of about the United Nations Human Rights Council. It was previously known as United Nations Commission on the Human Rights. It has changed. Now you should know that the 47 members, they are selected and elected from the United Nations General Assembly. So these are the basic things you should know. Again, the next news is with respect to RBI keeps repo rate on hold as the food price remain high. So here you should know the basics about the human right. What is the basics about the repo rate? What is the repo rate? This is the interest rate. And what is the interest rate for whom? There is the definition. This is the interest rate between the RBI and commercial banks. So this is not for you and I. It impacts on our capacity to take borrow, but it is not directly for us. It is between the RBI and the commercial bank that you need to remember. The first thing you need to remember is this. This is between the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, and the commercial banks. So who borrow, who lend? Here the RBI is giving money, lending to the banks, and bank have to give the return the interest rate. Beside that, on the what is the security they submit to the RBI. Whenever you go to take the borrowing, take the loan, you also go with the collaterals. Here the collaterals, this will be the government securities, and government security have to be purchased again by the government on the fixed rate that comes under the agreement. So this is known as the repurchased agreement. That's why we call it the repo rate. Okay, repurchase. So this is the repo rate, the rate at which the RBI lend to the commercial bank, and it is for the very short duration. This short duration. So this term you should remember. RBI lending the commercial bank. What is the impact? if RBI is increasing the repo rate, means bank will borrow at the higher price, there is the connection with us as well. If you will go and you will see that this RBI, this is RBI, this is lending to the banks. Think that if the borrow rate is very low, means 6% or the 5% or the 4%. This is very low, think that it is 4%. It means that RBI will give the 100 rupees and they will have to give 104 rupees. 4 rupees is the interest rate. Okay. If it is low, so bank will think that they will pay 104 rupees back, but if they will loan to the normal people with the interest rate of the 8, they can give them, these people will give back 108 rupees, 4 rupees will be its benefit and 104 rupees it will return. So there will be the high chances that the bank will come and they will lend and they will give more people this borrowing. Even the people will borrow by the 8%, but think that if the repo rate is high, if it is the 8%, so what will happen? This bank have to give, if they are going to borrow 100 rupees, they have to give back 108 rupees because 8 is the interest rate. Okay. If they are getting 108, they will not give on the same rupees to the people. It will give people with the 16% and people will have to give back the 116 rupees if they are going to borrow. What will happen? Even not 16, even just consider that even the 12 rupees, 12%. So people will have to give 112 rupees back. In that case, the people will think it is not easy to earn 12 rupees onto the 100 rupees of the investment. They will not go to the borrow. So whenever this is high, there is less chances that this will borrow and there is less chances that this will borrow. Consumers like us and you. This is the trend. That's why whenever the repo rate is low, bank will borrow more and more, people will borrow more and more. Whenever this bank rate is high, this bank will not going to borrow and this people will not going to borrow because there is the very high cost. So whenever there is the inflation, RBI want to reduce the price. What will happen? It will increase so that people will not borrow and people will not have the money. As much as they have the money in your hand, you buy lot of things. If you don't have the money, so you will not buy the things. So if you will buy more and more, think that there is the high borrowing rate. What will happen? If there is the low repo rate, the people will have the more money. Consumers will have the more money. And if there is the any price, for example, if there is the chairs that is of the 500 rupees for the one chair, they will go and buy if they have the more money. If they don't have money, they will not buy. So the seller will think that they are not buying. If I will reduce the 450, then they will buy. So there will be the reduction in the money. But if more and more people are coming and buying, they will think that I have less product, but the people are coming, they are more in the number. So it will increase to the 500 to 600. So inflation is high when the people buy more and more product. Inflation is low when they buy lesser product. This is the trend, and that's why the RBI, whenever have to reduce the money into the market or reduce the inflation, it increases the repo rate, and whenever it has to decrease, it has to increase the economic activities, means more and more people have the money, so they will also go for the increase and for the more economic activities. Maybe people will go for the opening of the new factories. So whenever it has to increase the more economic activity, it will reduce the repo rate, and that's why bank will borrow more and more and from the banks people will borrow more and more. So this is the trend that goes on. So you should remember all this thing about the this repo rate, and consistently we have seen that this is the 7th consecutive time that the RBI has hold this price 6.50 percentage. And yes, it is expected that as there will be the more and more production into the Rabi crop, there is a chances that they will decrease, so that economic activity will more. Because if Rabi crop will more supply will be there, there is the less chances of the inflation. Inflation take place when the in the market the product is less and people have more money, they will chase, they will increase the price. Means if you are rich man, you will go and you will give any price. But if you don't have the money, you will think to buy anything. So this is the general trend for the inflation, and by this way, the repo rate, inflation, economic activities all interlinked. If the people have more money, only then they will go for the new businesses, and only then there is the chances that there will be the increase in employment. So there is the very dilemma that whether you want to increase the inflation in same time if you want to increase the economic activities. So this is not possible. Decreasing inflation with the increasing economic activity is not possible. So it is the RBI have to balance each other. So this is the way RBI do the thing. Next important news that we are going to do. Yes, this news that shows that the RBI is going to change the sum of the chapter into the NCERT book. They are going to include the Rakhin Garhi, and this is the part of the Indus Valley civilization, Harappan civilization. So you will study into the ancient history that we had in Harappan civilization before the Vedic era, and its duration is near about the 3300 BC to the near about 1670 BC. So this is the period that the new finding is the Rakhin Garhi. There are the different places into this civilization that is continuously discovered. Recently we have discovered the Rakhin Garhi, and this is situated into the Hisar district of the Haryana, and this is considered as the one of the largest location. Okay, and it is dating back between the 2600 to the 1900 BC. So this is the basic thing you should know. One of the largest Harappan civilization. Beside that, we have seen that the burial practice and human skeleton. So we are doing the DNA to know that what type of the people they were, and we have find that the matching of this people DNA with the DNA and facial expression and the facial construct of the people into the Haryana as well as the till the Iran. So this is the extent from where we are matching. Beside that, we have seen that there has been the continuity in the civilization by these discoveries. So NCERT, it will be included. What will be excluded? There will be the exclusion of the Narmada movement and the Narmada Dam movement. Under that, we have mentioned the tribals and the atrocities against these people, tribals. So we don't want to show our bad face to our new generation. We wanted to show only good faces. Here we are going to exclude this Narmada Dam and the movement, and also they are going to remove the sentence regarding the SC/STs and marked by the poverty, powerlessness, and the social stigma. This was the truth, but we don't want to show the truth. Okay, so we want to just remove everything and show that everything was fine. There was no issue. Okay. So here this shows the continuity. This Rakhin Garhi. This is important. Okay. Facial construct of the Harappan with the local people like the modern Haryana, people from the modern Haryana as well as the people from the other area. Okay. Even it goes to they have the DNA mixture from the Rakhin Garhi indicates that the ancient ancestry shared with the Iranian population as well as the Andamanese and the Southeast Asian people. Okay. Beside that, what other thing NCERT going to exclude? NCERT going to exclude the Babri Masjid demolition. They are going to mention the Ram Temple movement, Ram Janam Bhoomi movement, excluding the Babri Mosque demolition. So this is all from this news article. Next news that we are going to cover it from the editorial page, and here it is the news that analyze how the parliament has functioned till now. So here it is on the basis of the different tool that is given to the parliament to hold the executive responsible and accountable to the parliament. So here you should know the parliament's past, how the performance has been there into the past, and now how the changing dynamics has been there with respect to the accountability and responsibility. What is the parliament do? Parliament held our ministers accountable. They are the executive, and those members who represent the different constituency, they ask the question and they show that yes, they are responsible to the need of the people. People have selected to go and represent ourselves. Whatever there is the necessity, what is there is the need, go and tell to the people and ask the minister to do something for us. Okay, this is the whole concept of the parliamentary form of democracy. We generally at the ground level, the people elect the MPs, member of the parliament. There is the election that is going to be held from the 19th of the April by the end to the 1st of the June. So all of you will be, if above the 80 age, you will be voting, and if you are going to vote, you will hold your MP responsible and accountable towards your constituency. This is the form of the representative democracy. Here into the parliament, these members have the different type of the tools such as the half an hour discussion, short notice question, calling attention. These are the tools. They ask the question, they attract the attention of the parliament, minister and the government towards the issues that is the prevalent into the different section of the society or the different region of the society. So this is clear, I think. So this whole analysis is with respect to the what type of the question they are asking. What is the trend? Number of the question for the last 3 parliamentary election has increased or the decreased. Okay. The last 3, 15, 16 and 17. This is the 17 from the 19th of the April that we are going to hold the election. This is for the 18th. Now already we have the 17th Lok Sabha that has been selected, elected, and already they have functioned. Okay, so you should be clear about this basic thing. 17th, now 18th. The comparison here is the previous 3, means 2 from the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and 1 is from the previous Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. Congress lead UPA government that was under this rule, and under this 16 and 17 this is the Prime Minister Modi-led government. So here there is the comparison. So we will see that what is the trend. Recently we have seen that the trend where the question from the PMO office, Prime Minister office, that is considered the highest executive, top executive level, because the Prime Minister office himself giving the answer. Here the number of the question has increased, but the response from the office has only 28, that has decreased. Okay. So 1146 question has been asked from the PMO, and the response that has been given for the 28 of the questions. Okay. So here it shows that the declining relevance of the Prime Minister office. PMO, that is considered as the very strong. During the Indira Gandhi, the PMO become very strong. Okay. So there is the decline tendency. But there has been a very surprising evolution, rise of the 2 ministries that were not that much famous. These ministries are the Ministry of Health and the Family Welfare and Ministry of the Agriculture and the Farmer. There has been the increased number of the question. Okay. And this 2 portfolio has been very actively involved in this all scrutiny. And we know that there is the farmers issue are now central point. So maybe that's why the question from the farmers issue is more and more. Health consideration due to the COVID-19 may be possible. There has been the increased number of the question. Okay. However, we have seen that there has been a slight decline in the number of overall queries into the Lok Sabha. Okay. In the recent parliament. Okay. It could be due to the declining interest into the matter of the national security and the internal affairs. So here we have seen that it is for the home ministry. The home ministry, there has been the decline number of the questions from the home ministry, home affairs. Okay. Why? Because maybe the people are not that much interested into the national security and the internal affairs, because the home ministry that mainly careful about the internal security, like the insurgency, Naxalism, all this thing, militancy that is relevant for this, and internal affairs. Okay. Beside that, what we see, there is the decline from the Ministry of the Finance Affairs that has been the very much into the prominent, because the whole of the fiscal policy, the budgetary policy, all is made by this Ministry of the Finance. Okay, so there has been the gradual decline into the parliamentary interest into these two ministries that were very famous into the previous Lok Sabha elections and the Lok Sabha meetings and the sittings. Okay. However, there has been the positive trend into the increasing rate of the question being admitted for the deliberate with the Ministry of the Finance. Here, the Ministry of Finance, despite the number of questions has been declined, but whatever the question that is going, they are listing them for the deliberation. Okay. And that so that there has been the commitment for the transparency and accountability. Maybe the question, number of the question they are being asked low, but they are replying. For example, we saw that into the PMO, there was the large number of the question, but the reply was very low. So that's so the ministry, the PMO office is not interested into the deliberation of the question being asked. But here into the finance ministry, whatever the question comes, they are deliberating and they are answering. And this is a type of reflection of the transparency and the accountability. Okay. Beside that, we have seen that there has been the rise into the number of disallowed questions in the education sector. And this is not good sign, because if the question is being asked, here the what means the disallowed question? Disallowed question means area where the MPs cannot ask the question. So if the areas for the not asking the question increase, means your responsibility, your accountability is going to decrease, and this is not healthy for a democratic system or the democratic parliament. So this trend has been seen into the Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha, there has been the down trajectory into the percentage of the disallowed question. So no, here this disallowed question that has been more into the Rajya Sabha, that is increasing. Previously it was more into the Lok Sabha. Now there is the decline in such disallowed. Okay, disallowed question means area where you cannot ask question. You means the parliamentarians, the member of the parliament, and member of parliament represent you and me, and that's why I am asking that you cannot ask question, because if the member of parliament is not going to ask a question, means your issue is not being raised is there. This is the main issue you should understand. But the thing is that in the Lok Sabha, this disallowed question that is decreasing, but this is very much high, and this is increasing into the Rajya Sabha. This is the cause of concern. Okay. What are the different intervention that is being used? There are a lot of area, lot of tool, like the, as already we know that 0 hours, in the 0 hours, there is the normal, those question is being asked or debated that are the into the public domain, that is of the importance for the public. Okay, so most of this tool like the 0 hours, calling attention motion, okay, or the adjournment motion, all these are the tool by that different type of the question is asked and different type of the reply that is expected from the our ministers. Okay, those see the tools such as the 0 hours. So what is this 0 hours? This is known as the a tool by that the a member of parliament, they can debate the different issue that is of the public importance. This is known as the 0 hour because it is start into the 12 into the noon, and it's continue to the 1 p.m. From 1 p.m. onwards, the business of the house starts. Business of house means the passing of the billing, the debate on the bills, different all these things. The bills and the procedure to pass the bill, that is start from here till there. There is the question hour. So from the 1 to 2, generally there is the lunch time. 11 to 1, that is the working hour for the Lok Sabha. From the 11 to 12, there is the question hour, and after that 0 hours. From that onward, there will be the normal other businesses that is start. So that's why it is called as the 0 hours. Beside that, it is not mentioned into the constitution or the any of the law book. It is just traditionally it was evolved into the India. We have not taken it from the any of the other countries. So this is the new addition into the Indian parliamentary system. If you have to write any answer that how we are differ from the British parliamentary system, this 0 hours you should mention. Okay. But the thing is that this 0 hours has some limitation. The first thing that this is not structured or the order, as there is no prior scheduling, because there is no prior notice that is needed to be given. Just the notice on the morning before 10 a.m. you have to give to the speaker or the chairman, and they will allow you to speak. Second thing is that the speaker has the discretion to give the time to who will speak how much time and whose question should be taken. So here it's give more biasness, more inclination towards the those who are into the power. Okay, the second thing is that limited time, just between 12 to 1, and even it is not full 1 hour that the discussion takes place. It is the 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and this has the limited time. You have to complete all this into this limited time. Beside that, there is no binding on the government. If the question that is being asked into the 0 hour, it is not necessary that the government or the minister will respond. Maybe they respond, they cannot respond, and there is no follow-up of the whatever they have responded, whether it has been implemented or not. So this is the main limitation. Okay, we have seen that there has been the increase into the 62% into the 0 hours usage into the Rajya Sabha, and also into the Lok Sabha there has been the increase into the 34%. Okay. There has been the surge on the 0 hours that reflect that yes, the people, the MPs, they want to ask the relevant question, they want to engage the minister, and they want to attract the attention of the House and the whole nation towards the issue. However, there has been the decline into the other tool. 0 hours is the one tool. There is the other tool where the question is being asked by the member of the parliament, and the ministers and government is held accountable. So what are these? Like the half an hour discussion, short notice question, calling attention, short duration discussion, special mention. All there is a lot of such type of the tools, that is the procedure that given chance, that is provided the chance to the member of parliament to ask the question. They have the different nature because the type of the question that is asked is differ, the response they get from the minister that differs, the duration provided is differ. That's why there is the different, and the days that is provided is the different days for the different type of the this motions and the discussion. Here there has been the this trend has been provided. What has been the trend in the number of the question that is being asked? Here it is maximum into the Lok Sabha, and it is the short notice question that was into the Rajya Sabha of the 15 Lok Sabha time. Okay, so here it is into the Rajya Sabha, the number of short question that was asked the maximum into the 15 Lok Sabha, into the 16 it has been declining continuously. So into the Rajya Sabha, continuously into the 3 Lok Sabha timing, there has been the declining number of the question in all of the area. Half an hour calling attention, all there has been the declining. Okay, so here, but we see that in the Lok Sabha, this trend is a bit reverse. Here there is the increase, but yes, it is maximum into the 16 Lok Sabha. Again, in the 17 Lok Sabha, that has been the decline, and the decline in this calling attention motion, this is the utmost. Okay, so this is in the Lok Sabha, the trend. The period that we are discussing is this, but the house that is this question has been asked or the discuss is the here. Here it is the Rajya Sabha, here it is the Lok Sabha. The half an hour discussion that was maximum into the Lok Sabha, 16 Lok Sabha, there has been the slight increase into the 17, but we see that the short notice, yes, there is the slight increase, but this calling attention that has been minimal into the 17th Lok Sabha. So these are the trend. You should know that what is the difference between these different type of the tools. Half an hour discussion, what is the main thing? This the matter of the urgent public importance that will be asked. It is common in the every of this tool. But the thing is that the subject of the recent question into the parliament, that already there was the question hour before, and if there is no complete discussion, there is need for the further depth discussion, then this half an hour discussion was brought to the further the topic was discussed into the question hour. So this should be clear. This should last for the 30 minutes. So you should have the clarity on this. Okay. The second short notice question, again there the notice that is given, that should be the short notice. The prior notice such as the 10 days before the question is being asked, such type of the thing is not there. So speaker at the 10 or the before 10 a.m. they can take this type of the discussion. Okay, what is the calling attention? The calling attention of a minister, this is particularly for those area, again this is for the specific and the urgent matter of the public importance. Okay, but here there is need a matter of there is need for the immediate notice and the response from the government. Okay, so here immediate notice of the government and the response from the government, that is given on this type of the discussion. Okay, again the short duration discussion. So you should be very clear the short notice discussion and the short duration discussion. Here in the short duration discussion, 2 hour discussion is taking place. It could go for the 2 hours. Again, significant public interest will be there. However, the main thing is that this is done by the response that is given by the minister, and it allows the deeper debate on the issue than what we have asked into the question hour or the calling attention motion. Okay, the special mentions, this is again another type of tool, and this is for the Rajya Sabha only. Okay, so there is the list that you should know that which one is for the Rajya Sabha, which are for the Lok Sabha, and which area that can be provided into the both houses. So half an hour discussion, short notice question, and the calling attention, this is for the both houses. However, you will show that the short notice discussion, that is only into the Lok Sabha, not into the Rajya Sabha, and special mention, that is only to the Rajya Sabha, not the Lok Sabha. So this is the here you should go. The last thing you have seen that there has been the some of the area where we have done improvement. However, many of the area where we have not able to held our minister or the government or the executive accountable. There has been the chances. For example, there was a failure to the raise privilege motion against the misleading remark into the previous Lok Sabha's session. So we have seen this has been the common, and this shows that there has been the decline of the accountability, because if there is any statement, misleading statement from the minister, and if you are not going to held accountable, so this is not accountability of the overall parliamentary system will decline in India. We have seen into the 16th and the 17th Lok Sabha that has been the consistent. We have seen that there has been such chances where the public important topic and the issues of the public that was there was chances to raise, but it was not done into the proper manner under the different type of this discussion and the motions. For example, there was the discussion, there was a topic that was brought into the house on the suicide among the students due to the competitive examination. However, it was needed at least a half-hour discussion, but we missed it, despite there was the chairman who was ready to bring that, but yes, due to the lack of the sensitivity towards the issue, we were not brought, our member of parliament didn't brought such issue. Okay. However, we need a strong opposition, and strong opposition is always good. For example, in the 2014, there was the bill, criminal violence means, and it was expected that this bill will impact the freedom of speech and expression of the people. So it was opposed and it failed to pass. So such type of the Active opposition is also needed. We need to bring to revitalize the legislative engagement. By that we ask the question, the MPs ask questions from the executive and they held the executive responsible and accountable. Okay, so such type of thing we need to bring in a more vigor manner, more active manner. Okay, so this will bring the more accountability and it will foster the constructive debate as well as it will prioritize the welfare of the people over all the society. Okay, and it will make the citizens more stronger. Overall, the nation is built if there is the proper discussion and the debate on the topic that is of the national importance. So this is all about UPSC asks question. UPSC asks into the means many a times the on the parliament and the trend that is going into the parliament. So here the question that was asked into the 2021, to what extent in your view parliament is able to ensure accountability of the executive in India? Okay. So here it is talking to the what extent in your view parliament is able to ensure accountability of executive in India. So here you should first start with the why the parliamentary accountability needed and under the parliamentary democracy how this become the core point. So parliament that represent the will of the people, whole nation, and here the ministers are held accountable to the parliament and indirectly to the whole of the nation. So why it is needed? Because it is a sign of the healthy democracy. Okay, so you can introduce by that. After that, what you need to bring? You need to bring the tools such as the majority that is needed to prove to continue into the executive power, different type of the parliamentary committees, different type of the tools such as the 0 hours, question hours, all we studied, calling attention motion, okay, adjournment motion, all type of the motion you can bring here. Okay, beside that you can bring the budgetary process and the passing of the budget, all this thing also that is being held despite there is the more power in the Lok Sabha as compared to the Rajya Sabha for this budgetary process, but still there is the debate and discussion, and that's so the a type of the accountability and the a responsibility. After that, you should bring that why we are not able to bring the accountability. You should be some of the critical point. For example, there is the brute majority, and if there is the brute majority, it is very easy for the those who are into the power. They can easily pass such type of the bill. Second thing is that the weak opposition. Third is that there is the more and more gulletin motion. Gulletin motion means directly without the discussion, whole of the bill or whole of the any of the issue is brought and that is passed. Okay, so gulletin directly that is put to the voting system. Okay, for the vote. Other thing you can talk about is the layman nature of the parliamentarian. So we need to bring more technical expertise and assistant. So generally the person who go into the parliament, they don't have the expertise. So we need a proper assistant, and for that we need to create a cadre. Okay, so you could bring all this thing and you can conclude accordingly, means by the summarizing all this thing, but with the suggestive note how we can improve. Like the in this news article also it has been there has been this conclusion, this is with the suggestive note, what we want, what we need to do. So we need to revitalize the legislative engagement, emphasizing on the accountability, constructive debate, and prioritizing the welfare of the nation and its citizens. So such type of the suggestive note could be there when you are going to conclude your answer. So this is all about from this news article. This is the most important article from the today's news analysis, today newspaper. So please be very careful, go through in a very comprehensive manner, and also please write the answer of this question that is given. This is the question of the UPSC of the 2021. Next important news that we are going to take is from the again editorial. This is from the Big Fight, and it is about the politics and the relevance of Uttar Pradesh into the political scenario. So for the Lok Sabha election, Uttar Pradesh has near about the 80 seat, not near about, it has the 80 seats, and you can see that what is the relevance of this. This 80 seats is there, okay. And this 80 seats show that if those who are going to dominate in this 80 seat, they are going to dominate at the national level to form the government. Here, the BJP has consistently dominating. In 2014 election, it has 71 seats, and in 2019, 62 seats. And now this time, they're expecting more seats because already there is the positive influence due to the Ram temple construction and consecration. Okay. So here, but the politics is very much turning upside down. Okay. Here we see that two main contender into the UP. The first is BJP and second that is competing is the Samajwadi Party. We have seen that the base of Bahujan Samaj Party that is getting weakened year by year. However, this time BSP is going to contest alone. No alliance, no coalition. Okay, so here this can spoil the prospect of either BJP or the Samajwadi Party. Here we have seen that the new dynamics into the politics of the UP that Amin, this is the All India Majlis-e Ittihadullah Muslimin, that is under the Sauddin Owaisi, that they are going to fight and they have gone for the alliance with Apnadal. Okay, so Apnadal, this is the regional party, lot of regional party are there and they are totally on the caste basis. For example, Suhel Dev Bharatiya Samaj Party. This Nisar party, the full form of Nisar party is the Nirmal Indian Sosit Hamara Amdal. All they are going to play a minor role, but yes, their vote bank will influence over all the larger parties such as the BJP and SP. SP and Congress, they are the of the Indian bloc. They are going to fight with the together, and already we have seen that there has been the Keso Dev Maurya and his party Mahandal that is going to be associated with the Samajwadi Party. Okay, so this Mahandal, this influence the OBC votes such as the Mauryas, Sakyas and Kuswahas into the UP. So this is all about, you should know the basics political thing that is going in the Uttar Pradesh. Okay. So here you should, most important thing you should remember is that this Uttar Pradesh politics remain fragmented along the caste, religion and the regions line. There are the parties, single party for the single caste. Regions also dominate. There are a lot of regional demands such as the Purvanchal has some other demand. This Jhansi region that is known as the Bundelkhand region, they have some other demand. Okay, so there is lot of such demand. Okay, so this is all about. Next news again from the editorial page here. It is talking about the what is the dynamics into the Middle East, Western Asia. We have seen that there could chance of the escalation of war, as we have seen that there has been the attack into the Syria, and where they have attacked, Israel has attacked the embassy of the Iran, and there has been the death of near about 13 Iranian. Okay, so in that case, we have seen that there is the violation of the international law as well. And generally, we saw that whenever there is the war that is going on at the international level, yes, there is the violation of the international laws as well. So here we have seen that after 7 October attack, there has been the intensification, and after the invasion of Gaza and airstrike into the Syria and Lebanon, there is the chances that the Iran could enter into the war with the full-fledged intensity. And if the Iran enters, US will be with the Israel, and in that case, who knows what happens, where the Russia take a stand, maybe China has some stand. So there could be a huge war, and that could have the implication on the overall region. The main thing is that why the Israel is attacking the Iran and its embassy. Israel think that the Iran is the main support base for the any of the non-state actors around the West Asia. Either it will be Hamas or the Hezbollah. Mostly, either it will be Houthis. The support base is the Iran, and we have seen that there has been the attack on the Iranian military and its nuclear installation. So this is all around. Again, this news article, again, it is talking about the detail about the what is the future of the Palestinian state. Is it possible now that the sovereign Palestinian state is possible? So this writer is talking that after the Hamas attack on the 7th of the October, the chances of the Palestinian state now has diminished. Okay, so here you will see that because now Israel think that there is no agreement, no deal without the elimination of the Hamas. And after 7 October attack, Hamas has become very popular into the Western Bank as well as the Palestinian Gaza. Okay. Beside that, second thing is that already the legitimate Palestinian Authority that has become very much illegitimate. I mean, the Palestinian people as well as the Israeli people, because the Palestinian people themselves think that these Palestinian Authority, they are very corrupt. They are not supportive to the people and they are the anti-people. So this type of the thing, and in that case, if there is the election that is going to be held into the Palestine, like the West Bank or the Gaza, it is very dominating chance that Hamas will form the government. And then at that case, Israel will become very much antagonistic to this Palestinian state under the Hamas. So this is all about that shows that what is the scenario. Okay. We have seen that there has been the divide in the Israeli priorities. The first priority and the second priority. There is the confusion. Few of them supporting that yes, there should be the release of this hostage. That should be the first priority. The second priority should be the elimination of the Hamas. Many think that the first priority should be the elimination of the Hamas and second priority should be the hostage release. Okay, so in this Netanyahu that has become unpopular not only into the Israel but out of Israel as well. Okay, so here we have seen beside that, the Hamas seems indifferent to the loss of the life and they think that there could be the international pressure on the Israel and there will be the ceasefire. Okay. However, we have seen that there has been the attack from the Israel outside the Israel Palestinian area, like in the Lebanon, into the Syria. And in that case, if these all countries and the non-state actor in this area, like in the Syria, Iran, even the Egypt can join the force of the support base for the Palestine. And that case, the US again will support the Israel, and again who knows in this case where will be the Russia. Russia could be into the side of the Iran, Palestine, Egypt. So there could be a huge war, a full-fledged war, and it will not only impact the region of the West Asia, but it is going to impact the whole world. So this is all about from these two news. First is this editorial and second is this full-fledged article. Both are talking about the same thing. Here you can see the map and where the attack took place. It took place into the Damascus, and Damascus is the capital of the Syria. Here the Damascus, Syria. Here is the Israel and this is the Sinai plateau of the Egypt. This is the Gaza Strip here. It is the Gaza Strip. Okay, so please remember, Jordan is here, and here this is the Jordan River that divides this Jordan and Israel. There is the Golan Height. This is the Golan Height. It was a part of Syria, but now it is under the Israeli capture. So you should be knowing all this thing, where all this located. Mediterranean Sea. This is the Cyprus. Cyprus is very famous for the black money and conversion of the white money into the black money, such type of the thing. So you should remember. Iraq. Iraq is touching Jordan and Syria, but not touching this Israel or the Lebanon? Please be very careful. Just analyze. Many times UPSC asks such question. Here is the Bandar Abbas. The sport is very famous, and here this is the Strait of Hormuz, and this connects the Gulf of Oman and with the Persian Gulf. Gulf of Oman, Oman. The capital of Oman is the Muscat. Okay, so remember this. The capital of Yemen is the Sana'a. Yemen and the Oman. So these are all things that you should know, you should remember. So let's do some of the questions that has been the part of our discussion from the today's news. We will try to solve one by one. So let's start with the first question under our Furious 5 session. So the first question is the Rakhin Gadi, an important archaeological site, is associated with which of the following ancient civilization? Modern civilization, Gupta civilization, Indus Valley civilization, or the Vedic civilization. So we seen that this is from the Indus Valley civilization. This is also known as the Harappan civilization. Harappan civilization, and we have seen that the location is this Rakhin Gadi. This is into the Hisar, and it is into the Haryana. Hisar, and it is into the Haryana. Okay, other thing that you should know that we have find the burial practice here, and also there is the finding that we have found the expression, facial expression of these people with those of the current days population of the Haryana. Also, its ancestry from the DNA that can be traced from the people of the Iran to the Andaman Nicobar and even the Southeast Asian countries. So you should remember all these things. Next question. An increase in repo rate by the RBI would most likely lead to which of the following? Increase in money supply in economy, decrease in cost of borrowing for the business, increase in lending by the commercial banks, decrease in inflation. So what will be the answer? Here we will see that whenever there is the increase in repo rate, so what will be there? If there will be increase in repo rate, means RBI to banks, there will be the increase in the interest rate. It will be from 5 to 8. If there is the increase in the interest rate, means if RBI will give 100 rupees to the bank, bank have to give 108 rupees. What will happen? Then the bank will lend with the lower rupees, means higher interest rate. It means that it will have the 12% of the interest rate, and the people will have to pay for 100 rupees 112 rupees. So less people will going to borrow, and in that case, if there will be the less people they are going to borrow, that means increase lending by the commercial bank. So okay, decrease inflation, so it will decrease the inflation, means if the people will not go and buy, the people will have the less money. For example, if you have the lakhs of the rupees, you will go and you will buy everything. But if you don't have the money because the interest rate is low, you will not go and borrow. So you will have the less money. In that case, you will buy lesser amount of the goods, and by that the people who are selling the goods, they will reduce their price so that the more people come to buy. Otherwise, their activity will not go further, and that's why the economic activity is not that much potential when this repo rate is high. So D will be the correct answer. Next question. The United Nations Human Rights Council replaced which of the earlier UN body? The Commission on the Human Rights, the Security Council, the Economic and Social Council, ECOSOC, the International Court of Justice, ICJ. So already we know that ICJ is there. So ECOSOC is also there, Security Council is also there. So it will be the A will be the correct answer. Now it is the United Nations Human Rights Council. Okay, it was United Nations Council of the Human Rights. Next question. The headquarters of UNHRC is located New York, USA, The Hague, Netherlands. Vienna, Australia, Geneva, Switzerland. So we find that it is the Geneva into the Switzerland where the headquarters is situated. Okay, Hague, Netherlands, ICG headquarters is there. Okay, so it will be the D will be the correct answer. This will be not correct answer. Last question. Zero hour in Indian Parliament takes place immediately after the introduction of the bill. Question hour, adjournment hour, budget presentation. So what will be the answer? As per this, the zero hour. This is the innovation from the India. There is no mention of the zero hours in any of our constitution or the anywhere into the constitution. Not any of the constitution because we have only one constitution. So anywhere into the constitution. Neither into the other laws. This is the tradition. This is the convention that we are following from the 1960-62. Okay. Here we will find that this is done just after the question hour. So first at the 11 a.m. the session of the parliament is start. 11 to 12 it is question hour. And after question hour 12 to 1 it is 0 hour. After that there is the lunch 1 from 2 and from 2 to 6 there is the regular business. Okay, so this is all about. So B is the correct answer. So here all the needed area that we have covered. We have also done the question regarding the same. So we have covered most of the area. We have covered most of the area that is from the today's news article. We have covered all this in a very comprehensive manner. If you want to any of the addition or any of the modification, you can give our suggestion. We are ready to accept. And yes, please follow all these things on a very regular basis because we bring all the relevant area from the Hindu, and this is very much impactful on all of your GS preparation from either from the prelims or the mains or the interview. And many of the area that is getting impacted by this news, GS paper 1, 2, 3, 4, you can use into the essay as well. And even this is very much important for the prelims. Near about 40 to 50 questions that comes from this news articles and news analysis. So this 1 hour 30 minutes, that is most crucial, most significant. Okay, so here we will conclude our session. Thank you for joining the session. All the best. Jai Hind.